Hey everyone, Ashley Mailloux here. The Coast to Coast Pig 5 is back this Saturday, March 11th, with races from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita Park, with a little bit more focus on Gulfstream. And the sequence will get kicked off there in their 9th race from Gulfstream, which is an allowance optional claiming event at 1.1 miles on the turf. And looking at the field in here in terms of the horses that I decided to use, I actually used 3 runners. I used the number 3, Harry Time, who I think is a horse that's going to improve, not only making his second start at Gulfstream Park after coming over from Great Britain, but I also think, going long for a second time to start in a row, I think is going to help his chances, because you look last time, he had gone from some 5 and 6 furlong events, came here, raced at 7.5, now he's going to stretch out again, and I'm willing to kind of forgive that effort. I thought it was a decent start here at Gulfstream Park. Also use the number 9, Far Bridge, out of the Christophe Clement barn. Based on the debut on the 21st of January, I think he is the horse to beat in the field. He got an 89 buyer speed figure. He had a few horses beaten early on and made a really nice late move to get up just in time. A replication of that performance, I think, puts him in the winner's circle again. But I did use one other runner in here, the number 12, Con Man, out of the Mark Casse barn. Has tackled stakes competition in his last 2. He hasn't fared the best in those efforts, but he does have a bullet drill, and excited to see him against non-stakes competition this Saturday. So for me, 3, 9, 12 in this opening leg. We go to Santa Anita Park for their 4th race, which is a 6 furlong turf event, maiden special weight competition for 3-year-old fillies. He's the number 1, Irish Rose, in the 4, Not Now. And I feel like if you use one of them, you likely had to use the other in this spot, because both fillies had really nice debuts where they hit the board. These races were on different days, both at Santa Anita, though, at similar distances, at least at 6 or 6.5. And in the case of Irish Rose, this horse didn't take a ton of respect on the tote board, kind of almost 8-1 in there, but ran very well from off the pace, tried to circle the field, but could not get to Teeny Ella, who is the daughter of Beholder. I think this horse is certainly going to step up second time out. And then the same with the number 4, Not Now. This one on the John Sadler barn. Similar story. Tried to circle the field and was there too late, but ran very well. And did have trouble in there. And the winner of that race, AG Bullet, went on to win the Lady of Shamrock next out, so stakes race. So something to note there. I decided to go with race experience, though, in a field that does have several first-time starters. Back to Gulfstream Park for their 10th race, 6.5 furlongs on the main track, an allowance optional claiming event. The main 2 in the field are probably the 3, Starship Renegade, and the 5, Cover Me Up. Looking at these runners, I thought Starship Renegade ran a very strong race last time out, and looking at his last 2 efforts, they've both been very good locally, going to get a little added distance, which I certainly don't think hurts his chances. I think he'll like going from 6 to 6.5, and the 5, Cover Me Up, now in the barn of Brian Lynch. He's going to cut back in distance after having a couple of 1.16 efforts under his belt. I do think this is a softer spot. You look at those races 2 and 3 back. I think he's going to be tough in here. And something to note, Brian Lynch off a 6-month more layoff, 41% from a sample size of 17. But I also use the number 1, Uniki, in here out of the Terry Pompey barn. Not sure what to do with those last 2 efforts, but this now 4-year-old son of Unified has been on the shelf and has a really speedy work in here in the barn as well, with horses off the long layoff at well. And he's 6-1 on the morning line, so I used Uniki as well. Back to Santa Anita Park for their 5th race, which is the Grade 3 San Carlos 7 Ace on the main track. The main 2 horses in here are the number 2, Forbidden Kingdom, and the 5, Get Her Number. I think in terms of trying to keep this ticket affordable, you have to make a choice. And for me, I decided to go with Get Her Number. And I'll be honest, I don't love the stat for Peter Miller and Flavian Prat at the meet, 0 for 15 at Santa Anita. While they are 17% looking at that 2022, 2023, I just don't love the stat at the meet. But this is a horse that's getting significant class relief. 2 starts back, was second in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile, and then more recently started off the year with a start in the Pegasus World Cup Invitational, which has been a very productive race. When you talk about horses that were able to win since then, you have Stiletto Boy, White Abario, Last Samurai with some big performances. And as I mentioned, this is class relief. I like this horse cutting back, knowing that in the Cigar Mile at a mile, he just missed behind Mind Control. It was a great race. I do think he's, for me, the horse to kind of beat in here. So I did single him in this 5th race. Then to wrap things up, we go back to Gulfstream Park for their nightcap, which is race number 11, the 5 furlong Captiva Island. This is on the turf for fillies and mares 4 and up. And I went with 2 horses in here. The number 1, Charlie T, has been second best in both of her outings in 2023, but she has the inside draw. She's very speedy, and I thought her first effort at Gulfstream Park was really respectable. Prior to that, she was at Fairgrounds for that first start on January 14th of 2023. Hard to knock this one. And then the number 4, Train to Artemis. Tactical can be just off the pace in these turf sprints and make that late move and get up in time. This one I think will be tough as well. So hard to distinguish between the two, so I use them both here. So with that single, you can look at my ticket. It's just a $36 play. I do spread in those two races at Gulfstream, their 9th and 10th race. The other races are a bit lighter, which makes this a very affordable ticket for this Saturday. Good luck.